Hello, everyone. Glory to God. What a wonderful day. Wonderful day for me, at least. I've been spending time with family. My son's been moving into his new place. But I missed you guys, and it took me a while to get this together because it takes research. But I'm here. And I've got the good camera tonight. Oh, hi. Off grid. Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian is here. And Robin Schultz. No, no, you didn't miss me just yet. No, right on time and first in line. So, for everybody that's starting to come in, thank you for the thumbs up already. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Off Grid Desert Farming. Their links are in the description box, along with Daily Excellence. My backup channel you should definitely sign up for just in case, and a PayPal link just in case. All right, well, everybody's coming in. Okay, good deal. All right, tonight we are talking about the magnetic pole reversal. Now, a magnetic pole reversal is different from a pole shift, but they are definitely connected, and a magnetic pole reversal can lead to a pole shift. And it is actually time for us to have that happen. So we're going to talk about the signs, you know, and some of the things that we're seeing in the news and even read a few articles. So it's going to be really, really fun. And I've also outlined a few other lives that I'll be doing soon. So you're going to see me a little bit more often, I promise now. Welcome, Clarissa and Brim. Good to see you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Adrian. Awesome. Okay, so you're ready to get started? Let's do this. All right. You're right, Clarissa. You are absolutely right because we're going to talk about what a magnetic pole reversal affects, and that includes animals. But I wanted to clarify that when I say that we're not going through climate change, we are, but what I mean is we're not going through man-made climate change the way that they're trying to sell it, to tax you, and to make it our fault. We are, but it's because of a magnetic pole reversal. Okay, I'm not saying that man hasn't done wrong. I'm just saying the bulk of our problems is this pole reversal, this magnetic pole reversal. And we know that the magnetic north has been shifting for a while now in a pretty steady rate. But the poles can split in two north and two south, and up to eight. That's what they've seen. So they can keep splitting, not just into two, and moving. So what happens during a magnetic pole reversal? Okay, you have issues like the South Atlantic anomaly and the Houston magnetic anomaly. Some people are like, well, what does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things, internet issues, but we'll get into that. But first, we're going to have random frequency changes. And even humans and animals and insects run off of certain frequencies. Some frequencies can agitate you, some frequencies can kill. Like, mass speed deaths, when you have no idea sometimes how it happened, it could have been a random frequency change that was severe enough to end them. Okay, but you will have frequency issues. No doubt about it, period, final. Yes, you will. Okay, erratic and extreme weather, this record breaking weather we've been having, and strange weather in strange like places that it normally wouldn't be in normally. That's happening all over the world. People said things like, growing zone shifts have been happening, where you could usually plant crops and one day, you could have really hot weather, and by nightfall, it's gotten really, really cold. Just random, erratic, extreme, record breaking weather that just keeps getting worse. And you might see things like several tornadoes at one time in a cluster, and at odd times of year, kind of like what we just had. But anyway, you'll also see crop losses and famine, no doubt about it, because again, the growing zones are changing. All right. Not to mention what's happening in the water and in the sky. okay, brings that famine. So it's not just the crop losses, because we can switch to something else that's available. But if everything is being eradicated, then you can't just go fishing. All right, just saying. I'm just saying. Even insects have been migrating to different areas. Just saying. Sometimes you have to follow the rats because they know where to go, and it's not where you are right then. You know what I'm saying? Oh, good, good. More people are coming. Hello, Joanna and Connie, Neo and Richard. Very good to see you. Grand Rapids, Michigan, 36 degrees. Woo. Gardeners had a tough spring and summer here in North America. Mm, 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 mm. That's important to know. All right. Okay. Magnetic pole reversal. Yes, that is what we're going through right now. Absolutely. And then you think about the shield, the magnetosphere, our Earth shields, and it's having problems. So the magnet, yeah. I mean, we're not just going to go spinning off into space or anything, but we are going to have some issues that we're actually already having. And if you don't know what to look for, then sometimes these articles explaining how something crazy might have happened, you might just buy the story if you don't really understand the big picture and understand that we're seeing the signs of the magnetic pole reversal already and have been at least for a couple of years. But a lot of people don't know what to look for. Yes, great upheaval. That's right. Okay, so what else would we see? Volcanoes erupting. And the reason for that is because with a weakened shield, you've got more radiation hitting the core. Core heats up, and when you got more heat, you've got expansion. And when the core expands, it puts more pressure on the mantle, which is the middle between the crust and the core. It puts more pressure on the mantle and subsequently more pressure on the crust. Things subsea, it's going to heat things up subsea. If you remember when they were talking about the dying coral reefs and how they were all bleached and dying, but they said it was from tourists. Well, some of it may have been, but it could have been very early signs that our core was beginning to expand already. It would push magma, dormant volcanoes, to the surface. It's coming from deep within. All right. You would get new volcanoes, and not just on land. A lot of times when people think about volcanoes, they think about land volcanoes, but there are plenty subsea. And whenever you have a major fault line, there's always volcanoes lining it on either side of the fault. Always. Subsea, for sure. Okay. So just think about that. Also, the frequency changes, the changes in magnetism, all of that is a balance. And when the frequencies are wrong and the magnetics are wrong, it will cause tempers flaring. It will cause you to be shorter tempered, annoyed at life. Why are we here? I didn't ask to be here. Just hating on your neighbor. It just causes that irk to just really become razor sharp and acidic. And you see the rioting and you see the sick murders. I mean, there was murder before, but I mean, the things that I've been reading in Houston news, okay, whoa, it's a whole new level of forensic files about to be coming out next gen. Okay, seriously, it's a whole nother level now. You will see mass animal and fish deaths. And we have been constantly. Sometimes it is the algae, sometimes it is, or, oil spills. But I just want you to know, especially when you see articles about these certain things I'm listing off and they say scientists are baffled. Sometimes they even have it in quotation marks, baffled. That's when your eyebrow should raise and look at that a little bit more. Just like go, okay, what are we really baffled about with this mass fish death or the grid outage or whatever? When you see that word baffled, know for a fact they're not baffled at all. What they are is muzzled. That's a code. Okay. One of the signs you'll see is Earth ripping apart. It is. It is ripping apart. And I'm not just talking about Africa coming apart from Africa. I'm talking about there's a rift that's in Mexico where land just separated. It's gone all the way up. I think in Arizona, there's earth ripping going on. And I've noticed that when that ripping is occurring, that does not show up on USGS. Not like the earthquakes do. You would think it would, but it doesn't show up, or they're not showing it. But I've never seen an earth rip show up. Never. But that would be, you think about it, the earth is expanding. So you will see earth rips. You're big problems. You're going to have electrical problems. Don't even be surprised if outlets in your home at some point start popping. Okay. I've got, oh gosh, a converter. I've got an extra converter in case something hits my house, because it takes a few days to get a converter in, if you order it. So I have one in case this one goes out, because they've gone out before and it's awful when it does. But I'm just saying, electrical issues, but I'm talking anything that's electric. Keep the electrical parts to your car, your smart fridge, satellites, your power stations, nuclear facility, anything that has electronics, especially real big, watch out, and I've been noticing more and more the last year or two, ever so often we're having not just like certain websites go out like YouTube or Google, but like the phone service will be interrupted or the home service will be interrupted, or, it's just not necessarily reliable all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that will get worse, and you'll see satellites kind of fry. Things will start having issues with the grid, and we're seeing that already. Okay. Internet satellite issues, change of the magnetic north. And I've heard that affects GPS, that like airplanes have had to recalculate to make sure they hit the runway. I've heard those stories. Some people argue with me about that, but I've still read the story. So maybe I don't understand the mechanics of it, but there is some relationship with the changing magnetic north, depending, I think, on location, depending on location. Mystery booms, because the pressure on the mantle, it's being hit with pressure from space and from the core, and usually there's an equilibrium there. Something's not equilibriuming out. I know that's not a real word. The equilibrium is skewed a bit, and when you've got that much pressure on the mantle, you think about how diamonds are made. It's under a lot of pressure, but there are going to be tones that are let out. There's going to be frequencies that are let out. There's going to be rock made into magma. There's going to be mystery booms. And a lot of people don't realize that what they're hearing, it seems to be coming from everywhere, nowhere, the sky, but it's coming from inside of the earth, and it bounces off of our atmosphere back at us. So it seems like we're hearing it from all around us, and it can sound like cannon fire. It can sound like many trumpets. It can sound like grinding metal. Okay. All of that is underneath your feet. A lot of the problems, you got to watch it. Antarctica, it's melting from underneath. That's why at first people were like, what do you mean Antarctica's in trouble? It's not melting. I'm like, yeah, from the top, it doesn't look, but you're not thinking about underneath what's happening. And that's exactly what it was, is that Antarctica is coming apart from below, like a cork's been popped or something. Okay. Just stop for just a second. Oh, welcome everybody. Hello, Red Scout, Dia, Cowboys 8 panel, TNT, Carrie, and Nicole. Awesome. Said it's the boring machines. I don't know. We need no, maybe in some cases, but I'm just telling you that's those mystery booms. And you'll notice they're hearing them all the time, even now. It's like they're just starting to pick right back up. Hello, Abbas girl. Super volcanoes in our I believe that. I believe that, Clarissa. Hello, Sprit Face End Times. Hi at 7, very cold UK. Welcome, England. I was in England with my firstborn 21 years ago yesterday. I left on a flight. I mean, I'm in America now, but I went there for a week 21 years ago to the UK. Okay. Debbie Lone Wolf. Hello, sweetheart. Okay, let's get back. Right. So what else are we going to see? Plasma lightning, not just regular lightning, plasma lightning. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. Very deadly. Don't think it's good for your breaker box. Just saying, watch out. You know, a lot of people don't know that lightning can also come up from the ground. Just saying. But look for those, the plasma lightnings and earthquake lights. Watch for those. It looks kind of like rods of just light. So rods of light above the ground, but in the sky where people can see them. Yeah, we had some in Houston, I think last year. We talked about it. Rapid shifts in Earth's rotation. You will see that. We are seeing that. Sinkholes. Watch out for that. New land, crustal thinning, increase in auroras, increase in Cancer. Now, why would we have an increase in Cancer? Well, the magnetosphere shields us from that radiation and from the sun's harmful UV rays. But with like the Houston magnetic anomaly, there's probably something wrong with the shields right above Houston. Houston, if that is what it means, and I think that's kind of what it means, is that the shields aren't very good. I mean, in order for the magnetics to reverse, which is what they've done here, you know, you have to understand there will be, even if I'm wrong about that, I'm right about the fact that there's Cancer increases, period, because the shields aren't very good. But not just that, but because they've been off track for a while, the Earth has absorbed a lot of this radiation, so we're going to be getting it from below and above. We're going to be getting hit with radiation. Where was I? Increase in earthquakes and landslides, strange animal behavior, chemical changes in the atmosphere and everyday things, bleaching land and subsea, buckling of the earth. So you definitely want to watch for train accidents. Seriously, shifting ground. Better believe it. Bridges falling down. Won't be just in London anymore. Okay. EMPs, natural EMPs, electromagnetic pulses. We should, at some point, we're going to see tsunamis, underground pipes busting from the ground movement and flexing, water pipes, gas lines, cables that they have underneath there. You know, a lot of times, have you ever seen like there's a street with a huge sinkhole in it and you see the water pipes just underneath there, just kind of draining water out, these big sinkholes? I don't think it's the water in a lot of cases that cause sinkhole. I think, at least lately, that I think the sinkholes are happening because what's happening under our feet is extraordinary. And that from the weight, I think a lot of times in the shifting, the water pipes break as a result, is not always the cause of the sinkhole. You see what I mean? Okay, yeah, magnetic pole reversal can lead to a pole shift, crust roll, and in the sixth seal, it sure does look like we're having a pole shift. Clouds rolling back like a scroll. What this implies, a pole shift to sixth seal also, um, is that there is going to be a major population bottleneck when population goes from this to this. Okay. Now, one of the things that we talked about on that list was animal deaths, and I pulled a few out. It was one of them happened on November 18th, 22, this year. Thousands of livelihoods destroyed after masses of fish die in Kenya's Lake Victoria. December 13th, bald eagle mass poisoning. 11/28, hundreds of dead fish found on popular Australian beach. December 4th, thousands of seals found dead along the coastline of Russia's Caspian Sea. On November 30th, millions of livestock animals are dying suddenly. The war on our food supply continues. Now, I want y'all to listen up because there's an article here that had more deaths in it. Really awful. I mean, it's a long list from just this year. I don't know if I'm going to read every one, but check this out. November 17th, a new tick-borne disease is killing cattle throughout the United States. New tick-borne disease. November 17th, mass wildlife deaths from overgrazing in Kenya leave millions on the brink of starvation. November 10th, fire at a poultry farm kills 30,000 chickens in the Netherlands. November 9th, hundreds of dead sea creatures wash up on the shores of Panama. We've been getting some major earthquakes around Panama lately, big ones. November 7th, avian flu kills hundreds of thousands of chickens, turkeys, ducks, and geese in Norfolk, England. October 13th, more than 1 billion snow crabs mysteriously vanished in the Bering Sea. September 21st, thousands of dead fish are scattered across the beaches of Port Martin, Jamaica. So this is a constant thing going on in the sea, okay, and on land with these mass fish and cat. It says vast numbers of cattle, pigs, chickens, and other animals are dropping dead at an alarming rate. That's quoting this article. Millions of livestock animals are dying suddenly. The war on our food supply continues from November 30th. This is a recent article. That's right. Okay. We also have large groups of animals walking in circles. And also now, the animals are starting a death spiral, like some of the humans that we've been seeing in certain videos lately. I'm not going to mention, they just kind of look and then they turn, and maybe a little bit of this sometimes. But that's what I call the death spiral. I think other people do too. I'm just going to pretend I made that up myself. But we're seeing animals walking in circles. Animals run off a frequency. They're very in tune with the earth. They're in tune. You got to watch the animals. You really do. And we've been hearing about the continuous move of the magnetic north, and it is getting very close to what they call this 40-degree mark. And they've been saying a whole lot about the 40-degree mark. And I'm not going to pretend like I know a whole lot, but it looks like it's going to break loose. It's going to go from what we see now already that sucks, but it's going to go biblical. We're very close. And I don't think I've seen anybody exactly agree on when we're going to hit it, but they're suspiciously looking at the months January through April of this coming year, which isn't very far away. I mean, we were even hearing Mike from around the world saying there's going to be 17 big events in 2023 that he knows of, and something going on the 5th, a whole bunch, just, so maybe we're about to hit that 40-degree mark. Oh, cats, hold on. Anyway, yep. Okay, so what that means, at least, is that we are to watch for an increase in crazy Earth activity. All right, like, seriously, watch out. Okay, there has been an article uncovered, and I have one. It says, it's titled eerie ghost light detected emanating from within the solar system. And that's the thing about the magnetic pole reversal that we're because it decided to happen. It's happening because we have close to us in proximity. That's why these things are so cyclical. They happen in cycles. That's how our ancestors knew that these things would happen again, even though we had no idea what they were talking about and didn't even believe it, didn't know how that could even happen. Well, now we know. And we know that it's close because we've had problems with the other planets. We just have been for the last few years for sure. But now they're saying there's an eerie ghost light detected emanating from within the solar system. And I just think it's really cool, at least to just take a look at this article. And it was written December 12th, just what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago. Oh, time is just passing by. I mean, I'm so busy all the time. I love it. It's way better than not having anything to do. But I really just miss you guys. I wish I could be here more, but I think I'm about to. I think I finally hit that point. Anyway, I'll get back to the article. I'm sorry. Astronomers have detected an eerie glow of ghost light that could represent a previously unknown component of the solar system. Comparing data from two distinct viewpoints, Hubble and New Horizons, the researchers subtracted light from known objects and discovered a dim, unexplained glow still remained. What? If you were to step out into your backyard and stare up at the night sky, you'd see countless stars and other points of light. But if you left your porch light on, you'd miss out on many more faint objects. The same kind of thing applies to telescopes. The solar system has its own glow that can wash out fainter galaxies. A project called SkySurf is aiming to catalog the light seen from Earth to figure out how much is coming from local light sources, how much from more distant stars and galaxies, and how it's all spread out. I just thought that was pretty neat, that we have a ghost glow. Oh, hello, Friday. He came to see us. There we go. I can go ahead and X out of this article. He's in his fun, playful mood. He won't see him. Just gonna go say hi, everybody. Real quick. The Mater on movie cars. I remember Mater, but I don't know how that connects. But then again, I did have amnesia because I know I've seen that movie. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Debbie Lummer says that she can see Mount McLaughlin from the road, also Crater Lake, Wizards Island smokes from time to time. The sky was large just last night when I took the dog out. Because I would guess it would be. Can y'all still hear me? Are we having? Am I okay? Am I back? Oh. Oh no. It's buffering. A little buffering. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Stay Ghost Light. Go finish here. Oh, it says clear Abbas girl. Okay, because I'm thinking maybe I could just stop this live and then start a new one. You know what I mean? Like a part 2, 10 minutes later. It's good. It's clear. Joanna looks like she's doing good. No buffering for Dia. Okay, then we can go ahead and continue. Robin says, thank you guys. You are so awesome. Nibiru, right? Hello, Elohim. Welcome. Hello, Ben and Brim Fallow. Liam. Missed a few people. Pyrotechnic here too. I love you, Pyrotechnic. Buffering from time is a signal problems for no reason. It'll just stop working for 1 to 5 minutes. Oh, Pyro. Hello, Jason. Start a new stream. Buffering. Okay. All right. That's what we'll do. Start a new stream. Okay. How many of you think I should start a new stream? Thumbs up, thumbs down. big group tonight. Yeah, we got 47 here tonight, 38 thumbs up. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. So I just kind of paused in the lesson for a little while, just pausing. God help us. Please, God help us. It's been getting really cold. The weather's been changing. Lots of clouds. Okay. Thumbs up. All right. We're good. Amen, Red Scout. Amen. That's right. Okay. All right. We're going to keep moving on then. Okay. Where did we leave off? Okay. Well, speaking of grid issues, we've had electrical grid attacks recently where they say that like there were guns or whatever. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but I'm still suspicious that maybe that wasn't an attack per se. Maybe they were. But I mean, to have Northeast and the West Coast happening at the same time, and to hear that they're putting up ballistic blankets. I wonder what those ballistic blankets are also good for. Are they good at shielding EMPs, radiation, type things, or is it going over the top? I don't know. Maybe it was, but either way, with a magnetic pole reversal, eventually it does get to that where you're seeing things, the power stations starting to have problems, explosions going down, the temp 12 grids. Right. So I would imagine that if this were a magnetic related issue, that it wouldn't just be in the United States, that we will start seeing it other places around the world. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, let's just say, for instance, that those were absolutely man-made attacks on the power, the electricity recently. That's still what it would look like. And it would sound like gunfire, explosions, things like that. Pop, pop. It's kind of how it works. The natural EMPs are going to be coming through. Okay. Hello, Veronica. It's good to see you, girl. Roanoke. Welcome. All righty. Okay. So, yes. All right. We're doing good so far. Now, the winter power outages across the U.S. have already started. I mean, down here where I'm at in the North Houston area, it's been pretty warm, like 80-degree temperatures during the day for like 2 weeks now. It's been shorts weather, tank top weather, flip flop weather, and then finally last night it flipped and it got cold, and I can wear this warmer dress, and this is the first time I've worn it, and I'm wearing it for you guys because I was waiting for when it would actually get cold. I got it on sale, but I loved it. But the power outages are starting. And again, we're going to have grid issues. So you're going to be tempted to blame all of this on the United States government or your government. I'm telling you, they knew this was coming. They're trying to vet this as much as possible. I don't think they want to freak people out, but I think a lot of these outages will not be helped, which is why it's so important to understand preparedness right now. Right now, we have the ability still, to get things, provided you have the money or the resources or the skill to make it, we can still get things right now. But eventually, with all of these things coming together, it's not just the animals that are going to be dying suddenly. You see, and these people have certain skill sets that not everybody else has. God gave us all our own gifts and talents. See, and a lot of people have been passing away the last couple of years, like at the speed of light. I don't know if I'm alone in seeing this. Clarissa says Christmas is going to be different this year for me because my great nephew turns a year old on December 26th. Oh, that is so amazing. That first year is so huge. I remember when Mom were that little. You know what? My son Trent, my youngest living child, is turning 16 on the 17th, just next Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, he's a December baby. Anyway, just love babies. Congratulations. Hello, Kathleen. I'm so glad that you made it. This is my new friend, Kathleen. If any of you don't know her, she's amazing. All right. She is also a wonderful mod. She works with me on Daily Excellence. I just love her. I just love her to death. She's wonderful. Oh, Pyro, you got a birthday coming up too. Well, happy early birthday. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't miss it. Yes. Stay warm. January 1st, Clarissa. Oh, that's cool because I'm a January baby. I was born on the 28th. So we're going to be celebrating our birthday soon, girl. Alrighty. Okay, so let's get back. Oh, yes. Preparedness. I got solar light bulbs. They're not expensive. You should definitely look into it. Okay, don't get the ones with cords. I don't like those. The ones I got, you can hang them in a tree and they charge up, or you can hang them in your room and use them, or you can just screw it into your light bulb socket and it'll charge up, and that way, like when the power goes out, you can still flip on your light and it'll come on, seriously, or however that works. I don't have the same kind of socket, so I couldn't check it out exactly, but that's how it would go in a normal home. Yep, there have already been grid attacks. So if you think about natural grid attacks versus man-made grid attacks, and you put that all together, better have the backup plan. That's all I'm saying. You better have cooler, your ice ready. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you've ever been through a hurricane, you know exactly what you should have. Act like you're going through a hurricane or a tornado, preparing for something like that, a blizzard. You'll get a really good idea. Always have water. Remember, number one thing, water. Period. Final. Water. Okay. Yeah, we just had not just a constant internet interruptions, certain interruptions, but yeah, and the power outages. We recently had one in New York too, around the time that these attacks on the grid, on the electrical places were happening. That was mentioned, but we also had at least 12 tornadoes in Texas on Tuesday, and I'm sitting here going, wow, tornado in December? I mean, maybe I've got some stinking thinking here, but I just really think that's such an odd time to have tornadoes, much less 12 of them. But quite the mega storms have been blowing across the globe, like atmospheric rivers and everything. But I do have an article. It came out on December 13th, and it says at least 5 tornadoes confirmed, 12 reported twisters, and Tuesday morning storms in North Texas. I was not in North Texas. I'm more southeast, just north of Houston, but still southeast Texas where I'm at. So I didn't get this, but boy, it happened overnight and it went tearing up everything. National Weather Service says at least 5 tornadoes are confirmed to have touched down across North Texas as a potent December storm system swept through the region Tuesday morning. The NWS said Tuesday afternoon that video and eyewitness evidence led to forecasters confirming 5 tornadoes with another 12 reports under investigation. So that could have been like 17. On the confirmed tornadoes, 3 occurred across Tarrant County in areas around Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth, North Richland Hills, and in Grapevine, where 5 people were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Tarrant County tornadoes have so far been rated EF0 and EF1, the NWS said. 4th tornado was an EF2, confirmed in Wise County, where at least 2 homes were destroyed by winds reaching 125 miles an hour. The tornado was confirmed west of Paris in Lamar County. There's a lot of articles about it if you want to read, but I mean, just that's pretty erratic behavior. I mean, especially for this time of year. I'm just sitting here going, okay, wonder what y'all have to say about that. A tornado in Oklahoma too. Is it, Connie? Isn't this an odd time to be having tornadoes? I mean, am I just wrong about that thinking? Cowboys 8 panel says the odd negative temperatures are coming. Oh, I don't want them to ever come here. that blizzard was awful. I had like snow just forming in my house, and I had a heater. I had a Mr. Buddy heater. I was using it, and it was still forming snow. Water damage, pipe busted. Thank God for my friend Eric. He came down here. Hello, BJ Bumblebee. Good to see you. Okay, Richard says it is an odd time for tornadoes. See, I told you we're having odd weather in odd places at odd times, and it's crazy. Welcome to the magnetic pole reversal. Clarissa says yes, but a few years ago Michigan had one in February. It's crazy. It's crazy weather. Okay, so what else have we got here? Alrighty, Mike from around the world was talking about chemical changes that would affect gasoline becoming explosive, right? I was sitting here going, what? All right, now listen. And he said it would become explosive under certain chemical changes from radiation. Now, you know what this means, right? One day, you can be sitting in your living room watching Friends or whatever you watch, and you hear a boom, and your car is on fire. Some of your cars are in garages. I'm just saying. Diesel generators. Okay, but then you think about, oh gosh, what about the gas stations and oil rigs? Yeah, gasoline in people's preps. You hope it's not near the food. So I just wanted to bring awareness of placement of fuel to anything you might think is important to keep for the near future. If that, because I mean, the science actually sounds right. Radiation can change chemistry, absolutely. So that's not really far fetched at all. So that's another thing to just be looking out for. You know, you're going to the next level. I mean, we may not have bunkers, but we might have. I mean, but they go to sewers in New York. There's going to be something. You're gonna want to get away from that at some point. But it's a process, okay? It's a long process in the scheme of things, but you've got to know what to look for. You've got to understand what's coming. So if all of a sudden cars around the world start exploding and they start trying to blame it on a certain thing, but it's the gas stations or whatever, I'm just saying, just watch. May not what their excuses may sometimes be propaganda, not the truth, is all I'm saying, to hide the bigger picture from you. And it's like, when you're reading the Bible, like say 100 years ago, and you were talking about the end times, you might see one end time looks like a sign and think that it's the end times, but it had to be the whole set, the whole picture coming together to know that it really is the last days. The tribulation, the war is coming. And that's how this is too, this magnetic pole reversal. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things that continue to progress. They say things are going to get worse. This is how it gets worse. Those are the stages that you eventually get to. Okay. Now I have some good news, because a lot of people have been worried about the diesel supply, because you can't run them trucks across the United States or across your countries, wherever you are in the world. You're not getting your supplies. And a lot of these supplies can be life-threatening if they don't have them, right? A lot of them. Well, the good news is that it was reported a little over a week ago that diesel stock supplies have gone up and prices have gone down. And I've seen that. Prices around here for diesel have gone down. Okay? But there was still bad news with Keystone Pipeline recently, too, when it comes to fuel and our stocks of it and our supplies of it. That there was a Keystone Pipeline oil spill, and investigators search for the cause of the Kansas rupture. They got cleanup crews in Kansas. They are preparing for rain on Mondays, which already happened. The article says federal and state environmental officials worked over the weekend to mitigate the fallout from last Wednesday's Keystone Pipeline rupture that leaked about 14,000 barrels of crude oil into a Kansas creek. Well, I bet Kansas is thrilled about that. Officials hadn't yet determined the cause of the incident. TC Energy, the Canadian pipeline operator, said Monday afternoon. The spill was near Mill Creek in Washington County, Kansas, had been contained by about 250 people working at the site, TC Energy said in a statement. TC Energy officials met with the Washington Board of County Commissioners on Monday morning to brief the panel on the cleanup. Repair is underway, repair planning. Air quality monitoring continues at this time, and there is no indication of adverse health or public concerns. Shocker to hear that. TC Energy said in a statement released Monday. Let's see if there's more. It remains unclear when the repairs will be completed. There's no timeline. Some of the unrefined oil product ran downhill into the creek. Third-party environmental specialists were among the hundreds of people who responded to clean up the mess. So they're saying everything's cool. It's under control. We're cleaning it up. We got it. They got satellite images, though. So you can tell it's a pretty dark, big smudge coming down that hill towards that blackened creek. Yeah. Looks like somebody just got their oil changed in the car, but it's much bigger. The leak in the 36-inch above-ground pipeline was first detected at 9 o'clock local time Wednesday. So there was a leak, and it's above ground. So I'm wondering how that happened. If it had been in the ground, I would have been like, this is a great example of what could be happening with the magnetic pole reversal because shifting underground. But I can't because it was above ground. But still, you'll see oil spills. If they've got them underground, you'll still be seeing stuff. Anything that's got pipeline underground is going to be at risk. Just telling you. A lot of chemicals go underground, and I know this because my dad worked at a chemical plant. He's finally retired, but gosh, right after we got out of the Army, he started working at this chemical plant, and it changed names quite a few times over the years that he worked there. But a lot of the chemicals they get come in pipes from underground, so they can make things like carpet or whatever, because the first company name, it was DuPont. It was DuPont LaPorte Chemical Plant, and then it became Quantum USI, and now it's Linde. It was Millennium at some point. It's been through a lot of names, but that they get a lot of their chemicals through these pipes. I'm just saying, you got to watch out, so we can go ahead and X out of that. All right, so, but at least the diesel supply is okay. That's really good. You want to hear that. Shell is threatening to pull out of one of Australia's energy projects, though. And Kim from Stone the Crow's Homestead sent me that article. It was more of like a YouTube video, but that's what it's saying. Is Shell is threatening to pull out one of Australia's energy products to provide natural gas to the country's east coast. And you think about all the things that's been going on the east coast of Australia, and there's a lot of magma around New Zealand and on Australia's east side. It's been a lot of natural disasters been going on in the Queensland Christchurch area for a few years now. But if you want to keep up with crop losses, specifically crop losses, Poplar Preparedness, he's a really good channel. He comes on every day and lets you know if a factory has burned down, or if bird flu outbreak happened and they had to cull some birds. He'll let you know if there's shortages at the shelves, shortages coming in. He comes on every day. I think for me it's looks like 5 o'clock in the morning my time, whatever time he's coming on. But it's first thing in the morning. He's usually got something to say. So just saying. Yeah, we'll talk about recent crazy earthquakes, and I don't want to go off on each individual earthquake. I wanted to talk about the areas that I'm seeing these outbreaks, areas of note. And first thing I'll say is there's a lot going on around the New Madrid fault line, period. It's just a ton. The New York area has been getting some swarming. About 10 years ago, you say earthquake in New York, that's unheard of. Now, around that, yeah, you look at USGS for just like a month and look at the New York area, you'll see they've got some action going on. Georgia and the Carolinas, that's another place. You used to not really see anything coming from those places. But there seems to be in that general area something heating up. Okay. Oklahoma to Nebraska, in the middle of the United States, Nebraska to Oklahoma, a lot going on right there. I mean, and then there's no question, the entire west third of the United States is just blotted out by earthquakes. Okay. Every single volcano on the West Coast is it's active. It really is. And that's no secret. Alaska, it's gotten really bad lately. Now, Alaska, down the entire west coast of the United States, down to the southern tip of South America, that whole area going straight down. That's a problematic area. The east half of the Mediterranean Sea, it's been having more and more problems, like from Italy to Israel kind of area. That's getting very active seismically. Japan, getting worse. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, that's getting worse. And the Strait of Gibraltar, that's that little strait between Portugal, Spain, and just north of the tip of Africa, right in there, that Strait of Gibraltar. I've been seeing a lot of action there. And so I'm keeping an eye on those places. But I want to end this by saying, listen, if you're alive, hey, sir. If you're alive, then you still have a purpose. It's easy to look at this stuff and get a little scared, but God always had a plan for our life the day we were going to be born and the day he was going to call us back home to recount what we've done here. He's going to hold on to that. So while we're here, we're going to build God's kingdom. We're going to do what we can. Okay, we have a purpose and we need to focus on that more than anything. There is something or some things that you still have left to accomplish, whether it's personal repentance, community, family matters, building the kingdom. You still have breath left in your body. And life is precious. Life is short. So knowing this, we need to make every moment count. When you look at this, I don't want you to think fear. I want you to think, wow, can I go out with a bang too? What can I do with this little bit of time that I have left? Because none of us really know anyway. But like I said, it's not looking good for the population of Earth in the short term. It just isn't. But while we're here, we're going to go till we can't go anymore. And that's where trusting in God is. We came here during these times for a reason. We were born into these times. And I believe that God has put in us our purposes. And as long as we go to God, then we know what our purpose is. And we know how to work those gifts and talents that he put in us so that we could get through whatever. I think what we have in us already, what he's put in us, we've got what we need to make it through. And as long as we keep holding on to him, we're going to be okay. No matter what, we're going to be okay. All right. Right now, this is our moment. Time is precious. I want you to reach deep inside and pull the very best of you out while you have time. Okay. And we know these are the days. We know it. We sense it. And we see the prophecies happening. We know that this is the time that God wanted the prophecies were warning us about. Okay, but Jesus Christ is Lord of all. And this war is a spiritual war. So he's a pretty important player, not just as our Savior, but in this time especially. He is risen. He is alive. He's not dead. Jesus is alive. He's risen. And in him, we're going to rise too. And before we start thinking about the end of our lives, I want us to rise to the occasion while we are still alive. Yeah, one day our end comes, but that's not now. If you're watching this, you're still breathing, then we still got something that we can do, right? Every day is a gift. It's not a sentence. And the question is, what will you do with the gifts that God has given you? How are you going to make that multiply? Sir, no, sir. No. Tearing up everything. Nah. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So even if there isn't much time, depending on God's plan for you, you can make what time you do have count. Spiritual time, call on Jesus. Clarissa says she recently had a dream about sinking land, new land rising from the ocean, and the pole shifting. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. But I was just reading this in one of my last, I think it was Japan and Hawaii could disappear. I know they were always talking about those two, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna have new land, and even the Bible said that islands would flee from their places. Hello, Patricia. Penny C, you're making the mistake of not giving Kitty undivided attention. You're right. You are so you are absolutely right. And I found out that my cat Friday cries at the door when I leave. Okay, just remember, Dan, God's got this. He's got your family. He's got a plan for them. I know that a lot of times we tend to think first, how can I get my house together? But you're automatically thinking about your family. But remember, they're God's first. He's got them. We don't have to worry about the sparrow. The sparrow doesn't have to worry. When it comes to each individual person, a lot of times we can do what we can, but it's really all in God's hands. And I say that because some people are also prone to guilt, survivor's guilt. And I think that could be an issue at some point, people having survival guilt. But you got to remember, God has a plan. He is the author and finisher of our fate and our faith. So just remember that. We don't know God's plan. He does. Worship the Creator. That's right. Praying for Teresa in Jesus' name. Teresa needs prayer. I'll be praying for you, Teresa. Amen. Y'all are such wonderful people. I've got a tuxedo kitty too. I want to get, his name is Tootsie Roll. That's my tuxedo's name. I want to get him a really cool bow tie, like refined looking kitty bow tie for that suit. And I want to dress Friday up in a bumblebee outfit. I'm not kidding. I spoil my babies. I really do. Okay. So this is the end of this one, but like I said, I've got other lives ready to go now, and my time is starting to open up quite a bit finally, and I still am not sick again. Thank you, God. Okay, so we are going to be talking a little bit more often from now on. I've missed y'all so much, and I love you guys. I'm going to check the chat. Hello, Leon. Standing on the side listening. God bless you, Leon. Thank you, Kathleen. All right, you guys. Mwah. I love you, and God bless you, and I will talk to all of you very soon. Bye.